Hi guys, and welcome to my video where I will be drawing only with the art supplies contained in the latest Scrawlrbox. So there are several markers, there are some pen and pencil, and let's go for drawing this drawing. I decided to do this drawing. It's the theme is Happy Cat this time, so I decided to draw this character with her cat in her arms, and let's go for it. I inspired myself with a drawing of Mabel from Gravity Falls, which is a cartoon that I really love, and I decided to draw a character like Mabel. So the first thing I do every time is doing a little sketch, a little bit, well, detailed. I'm just doing a little sketch, as detailed as possible, just to ink it very easily after that. So I try to put all the details, but well, it happens that sometimes it changes when I have to put the colors and the ink, but it didn't happen this time. So I had a very clear image in my mind of what I wanted. So I was quite happy with the results. This rubber pencil is quite bizarre actually, because I feel like it's a little bit too stiff on the paper, and I didn't like how it's scratched on the paper. I mean, like the rubber tend to be a little more not that I don't know how to say this, but well, it used to be a little bit too stiff on the paper, and I didn't like it. Though I found it erased quite well the pencil strokes, but I tend to have a very light hand with my pencil, so I definitely recommend to have a light hand when you're drawing and when you're sketching. So after the sketch, I decided to do a swatch with all the Spectre Noir markers, because I found that the real colors didn't match with the colors on the markers themselves. So I decided to do this swatch just to realize, how the colors are in reality, and just to choose the right one for what I wanted to color. So here we go with the coloring. So I'm using the Spectre Noir markers, and I'm used to the Copic markers actually in reality, and it was the first time that I used this kind of markers. I was quite used to the brush tip and not the bevel one and the bullet one, and I found that it was quite interesting, but not very. I really like the brush tip actually on the Copic, and I felt like I missed it somehow, because I found that it was more difficult to be precise with this kind of tip, because even on this paper I felt like the marker was kind of bleeding, and it was well, Yes, it kind of bled. And for the shape around the character, I decided to use this brushable pen, and I really liked it. I felt that it glided on the paper quite well. But actually, I think that it's more a brush for calligraphy or something like that, because you know, all the strokes that it creates when you're coloring. Well, maybe it's me that is quite incompetent with it, but I didn't really like the stroke around the characters, and I don't know how to avoid it actually, so well. But I really like the color. This lavender color is very, very, very beautiful. And so I keep on with this drawing, sorry. And this is how I inked this character. I decided to ink it after the coloring because I felt like it was a thing to do to avoid the bleeding. I was afraid that if I inked it before putting the color, it would bleed and it would just smash the... It would be awful for the drawing. And here's an example that, well, you can make some mistake when you are an artist and when you're doing some drawings. You see on the bottom of the cat, well, I just missed a line and I decided to put some spots on the cat, and this is why I put some spot on the cat. So I'm just adding some details on the dress. I really like this Staedtler fine liner because I felt like it was gliding on the paper very well and I really liked it. So I tried to put some shadows with the Spectrum Raw markers, but I didn't feel like it was working. It's something that I really like with the Copic is that when you use a second time the markers, it just give a little bit of darker hue, darker color, and it seems like the Spectrum Raw doesn't work that way, but well. So I use my Posca markers to add this little white box to add the final thing on my drawing, but well, it took quite a long time to dry, and then I added the art, and that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Ah, c'est cool ça.